Alright, everybody. It's the end of the year. It's the end of 2023, and I'm sure you've already watched a whole bunch of videos that people have spat out on YouTube on the best knives of 2023. Well, this is mine. And we're just going to go through them as quickly as possible, just show them off, because I know that y'all have seen so many of these knives, and we're just going to go through it, alright? So stick with me. I think I have some interesting ones that others left out. Yeah, I'll just give my input as I go, alrighty? These are all the knives that I purchased, that I picked up during this year. Some of them are models from previous years, but they're ones that I got this year and that I've carried this year and used this year, except for one, and I'll get to that at the end. It's because it hasn't arrived yet. It's in the shipping portal, and who knows if I'll get it within the next week. I hope so. I certainly hope so. Alright, some of these I picked up at Blade Show. You'll recognize them. There's ones that I got at the beginning of the year. You'll recognize if you watched my videos on them already. I've done lots of videos on these knives individually. So let's just go ahead and go. Right? Enough talking, more showy. Alright, so the first one I've got here is the BRS Evolve Fragment in S35 VN steel. This one was a Blade Show pickup. It is a fantastic little fifth pocket Wharncliffe blade shape. With the lanyard, it becomes more of a full-handed deal and just one hell of a workhorse box opener, package opener. Just that short Wharncliffe blade, titanium handle, again S35 VN steel. Super sweet. Very unique in its top flipper deal. Really cool, a lot of fun. Love this knife. Carried it quite a bit, especially at work with all the unboxings, all the package opening that I have to do, downstocking that I have to do at work. Alright, now I'm going to hit up a handful of them that, again, I purchased this year, but they were not necessarily brand new models for 2023. So the first one I have here is the full-size Migron Villona in 14C. Nice, huge fuller, super sweet sheep's foot blade, liner lock, again in 14C. This is their one that they did. They've got a lot of varieties, a lot of different flavored scale patterns. So this is a G-Mascus, the black and blue, looks really spiffy. Very nice full-size knife, for sure a full-size. It's somewhere around a 4-inch blade. Next one was the Migron Centurion with G10 handle, and again 14C 28N blade steel. Sweet knife, fantastic ergos, milled pocket clip. Awesome knife, especially for the price. The next one is the Migron Moyarl. Fun name. Most of us absolutely hate it. But again, we've got some G10 scales, milled pocket clip, and it's also in 14C28N forward choil. Another super sweet knife offering by Migron. Fantastic. Alright, the next one, oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera. Next one is a Max Ace. This is the Meerkat. It's an S90V. They certainly want to let you know the name and the blade steel, because it's plastered nice and bold on the side of the blade stock there. But super sweet, not worn, that's definitely a sheep's footy blade. Almost has a Nessmuck blade shape feel to it, and I really like that. I really like that blade shape. He's not super big, but yet for my medium to large size glove size hands, I can fit all of them in there, especially with the way it's not really a forward choil, but the way the handle scale is right here, that flat spot, my pointer finger fits there nicely, rests there nicely, or I can choke back and he's a 3-finger knife. Milled titanium, beautiful job, well done by Max Ace. The only gripe, and you saw it in my video, it's got a funky way that they did the end of the clip, so in and out of the pocket is not the smoothest, not the easiest. That's one of the handful of knives that I picked up this year that I was not super fond of the way they did the end of the pocket clip. Alrighty, so next one, and this is a fantastic knife. I mean, I've over the years have refined my taste in my picks and what I've decided to make purchases on, because again, it's insanely difficult. And this year, 2023, man, like I'm afraid of what 2024 is going to bring us. Is it going to be even better? Because this year was mind-blowing. Blade Show this year was in Atlanta was mind-blowing. Just the amount of wonderful, fantastic knives, the innovations and newer locks and different materials, and yeah, just oh my goodness. But here's the only knife that I have from Orion Knives. This is the Cetus, and if you're gonna pick up an Orion Knives knife to experience, this is the one to get. It is deceptively, because of the curved nature of the profile of the knife, you would think that that's a recurved blade, slightly recurved, but it's not. It is darn near flat. I mean, there is no recurve on that blade at all. You would think that it would the overall profile suggest a slight recurve and you deem it as a hawkbill blade shape, but it's actually not. You put it to the stone and you'll see that that blade edge is flat. And that is kind of cool, because obviously that makes it very easy to strop and sharpen. But it's really neat, the deceptiveness of the profile, and thinking that blade is got a bit of a recurve, but it don't. And the Cetus is also in 14C. So fantastic knife. I picked up the one that had several variants. I picked up the one with the wood scales because the wood just looked really pretty with that black for the rest of it. And the next one, which I had to take a little bit of time to get used to, and like the fact that it's really only got one opening mechanism, deployment method, and that's the thumb hole, which you can, sure enough, as you watching me do, you can underfinger flick, or you can do the thumb flick, which I'm not the greatest at with this particular knife. I kind of have to do the slow roll. But anyways, this is the Concept Tuckamore. It is the only concept that I truly liked as far as the blade shape. Again, there's that Wharncliffe blade that I absolutely love. And it's got the titanium handles with the micarta inlay. I dyed the micarta inlay kind of like a super dark brick red. So milled titanium pocket clip. Definitely ended up carrying him quite a bit because I was trying to get myself over the fact that it didn't have any kind of a flipper tab, front flipper or rear flipper tab. Like this one that was also a Blade Show pickup. So this is the Kizer Veritas, and I'm sure you're seeing a lot of this in people's top 2023 knives, because it truly is an amazing knife. The milling job, and boy did they knock a home run. Watch my video on this as I go into the details on this thing that nobody else really went too far into the details like I did, so please go watch this video. There are really some neat details with the design of this knife and its execution. Just, oh my gosh, this is such a stellar knife. It was done in the blade steel the Tuckamore. Sorry, I got away from mentioning blade steels. The Tuckamore was 20 CV. That was also kind of why I was willing to pick it up, even though I only had the one deployment method, because I just love the materials. I love the blade shape and love the materials and the blade steel. The Veritas is an S35 VN. So the next one is Blade Show is where I picked this one up. It is a collaboration, another collaboration knife with Beyond EDC and Asymmetrical. And I got this one at Blade Show because he only had like maybe 20 of them that he anodized just for selling at Blade Show, and that was kind of the ticket. I was like, I want one of that handful, that large handful that he anodized. So it kind of means more to me. And it is also an S35. Again, I didn't carry this one quite so much this year because I kind of was keeping it, you know, not wanting to mess up that anodization job. So it's kind of been more of a safe queen, even though it was not that super expensive. I think it was a little, somewhere right around $200 with the anodization. S35VN, and I love that Wharncliffe blade shape. This is just a sweet, sweet knife. Alrighty, next. We gotta keep going, fast. This is the big, beefy Artisan Accelerator in their RPM9 steel. Great steel. Love our AR RPM9. And this guy is just a monster. This is a monster. And it's very unique in both the handle shape as well as the blade shape is really cool. It's got that harpoon and belly for days. So yes, what a stellar knife, and executed so well by Artisan. So there's that one. The next two are ones that are definitely placed at some of the best, more budget-friendly knives for the year, and that is the CJRB Pyrite. This is one of the first ones that they did with the steel handle. It's a, you know, nailed the button lock. They just have gotten so good with the button lock CJRB has, and that I opted, of course, for that Wharncliffe blade shape. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. But both blade shapes that they came out with are fantastic. And I liked the knife so damn much and wanted to have a frag pattern. So I got the aluminum frag pattern with the same blade shape. Same great steel. Absolutely love the Pyrite. One hell of a sweet knife. Super wonderful knife for EDC carry. And that leads me to their next one that they did. They did the Pyrite in an XL version with the standard blade shape, just not with the Wharncliffe blade shape. And so I was a little bummed out about it until the CJRB Frac got dropped. This is basically, I just recently did the video on this thing, so go watch the video. Again, same CJRB's AR RPM9 steel. This is like if you wanted the Pyrite and the Wharncliffe blade to be done in the XL, this kind of checks off that need, that desire with that blade shape. It's more of a sheep's footy, drop pointy, sheep's footy, I don't know what you would call this blade shape, but nonetheless, it is amazing. Very much happy with the blade shape that they went with, and the size of it. It is a big boy. It is, this guy's big. It is nice. I like the steel frag handle on it as well. Again, the RPM9 steel. Next one is the Civivi Vision. This is Civivi's version of the Vision, which was first done last year in 2022 with the Wii version. The high-end version is what came out first, and then they went with in the Civivi line and did the budget version. They have, I believe the other one, the non-Damascus bladed one, I think was in 14C if I'm not mistaken, but I opted for the Damascus one because Civivi is one of the companies that just does an outstandingly fantastic job with their Damascus. I think they use their Nitro V steel as the base, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but the fact that they did it with the pocket clip being the normal side position rather than on the spine is what intrigued a lot of people. And their lock mechanism, I forget what they called this one. It's very similar to the Shark Lock, but it's not. It's different still in the mechanisms and in the way they did it. So fantastic knife. Very much love the Civivi Vision. Alrighty, let's keep pushing forward. The next one is the Spartan Harcy 4-incher with the Viking etching on it. Again, this was not a 2023 model. This came out in 2022, but I picked it up finally as having been one of my grails and one that I've wanted for a number of years, and the Viking emblem having significance and meaning to me with my family history dating back to Viking eras and being part of the Viking legends with my family history. So yeah, I absolutely love this. S45VN, all American made. The people at Spartan Knives were wonderful to talk to on the phone. I had a whole hell of a lot of fun doing the intro on and the video all together. If you care to watch that, the intro is hilarious, and me pretending to be a gosh awful terrible Viking that lost his ship. It's a little nice comedic parody to that, and just a touch of my family history and how we date back to the Vikings. So next one is one that was shown at Blade Show and is their best knife yet. Vosteed Mayhem, that then had to quickly be renamed the RS Chaos. We're not going to talk about it. I talked about it in my video on this knife, so if you want to hear my opinions on it, go watch that video. It's done in M390. But this is their take on the compression lock. They are the first to take a solid stab at doing a compression lock after the patent ran up on Spyderco's compression lock, and I gotta say, they nailed it. They nailed it for sure. Vosteed did a phenomenal job on that button releasing. They called it something different. I forget what they called it, but they did not call it. They made their own name for the type of lock. The blade shape is wild. They came out with two different blade shapes on this guy. Obviously, this is the Wharncliffe one that I picked up, and I have loved it and used the hell out of it. Titanium milled pocket clip and milled handle, just wonderful milling job. This is definitely by far the best Vosteed that they've made, and since I got the very first run of it and the first handful of it, let's see, I think mine's numbered. I received number 48. It's tucked right up there against the handle on the blade there. I got number 48. So having been in the first 50 that were made, or at least numbered, to me it's still the Mayhem. So next one is my first knife that I purchased from Finch Knives, and it is the Finch Shiv. This is called the Shiv. Yes, I have a video on this one. It is in 14C 28N. Milled pocket clip. I believe that's a titanium pocket clip. Not positive, but I think it is. This was their first knife, I believe, that they also foregoed the crest, and doing it as a more budget-friendly option from Finch to try to get a Finch in more people's hands that didn't quite want to spend the Finch premium for their other knives. This got you you know, was giving you that option. And this color combination on this one, to me, just seemed most fitting for the profile of the knife and name of the knife, being a Shiv, to have that ghosty, translucent G10, just with black blade and black hardware. It looks sweet, and I have enjoyed this one a lot too. It's a really nice, more budget-friendly option from Finch, coming from Finch. The second one, which was not quite so budget-friendly, you had to go back to their normal pricing, because you can see that you got the glow-in-the-dark crest logo thingy dropped into the handle scale. This is the Finch Stinger, and they went back to their 154 cm blade steel, beautiful milled clip, and it is pokey stabby stabby for sure. Fantastic. I mean, this is everything that Finch is known for in their fit and finish and quality. Very well done, very nice, elegant knife. I love the blue scales on it too. Alright, we're going to go back to one that that I did not receive until this year, the very beginning of this year, but I paid for it, purchased it at the end of last year. So it has had a lot of pocket time and been thoroughly enjoyed, as everything that I have, the knives that I have from this company, and my experience with this company, and the owner of this company is just so heartwarmingly peachy, fuzzy, warm feelings. I absolutely love EMP EDC knives, and John and his wife are super cool people. Very, you know, I forever wish them the best in life, because they are just fantastic, and the way they do their knives, his designs, everything about them. I am a fanboy. I am just not the fanboy that has to own every single one of their models. If I had the money, I would, but I don't. So I have to, you know, continue to be a little choosy on which ones of theirs I pick up. So I've got 3 of their knives. I have this one. I have the original EMP EDC Thick Boy, which I acquired last year, more towards the beginning of last year as well. So, but yeah, I received this one at the very beginning of 2023, and it was the hardest one to put down for the first 6 months of the year. Like, I just loved having this thing. I loved carrying this thing. I love every bit about this knife. It is just one of the most amazing knives that I've been able to acquire over the last year and carried over the last year. Love the Relative, and it's in Magna Cut. It was my first knife in Magna Cut, so first time experiencing Magna Cut, and it's a fantastic steel. It is a really great steel. The littlest one that I've picked up this year is the Devo Nip, and I did a fun video on this one where I was playing around with the puns of the word nip and using the word nip. And you know, Colin and Kevin, they're wonderful dudes, and you know, Kevin's an acquired taste per se, but nonetheless, they're doing fantastic work with their Devo Knives brand, and the nip is pretty sweet. You pay a Devo Knives price, but you get excellent quality from Devo. This is a fun little 5th pocket box cutter. That's what it is. It's an S90V steel, which is a fantastic steel. It made it a little bit pricier. The action, everything, it's a fantastic knife, and they came out with quite a number of different finishes and color combinations. I went with the all blacked out one because I like the all blacked out look on this guy. It's a sweet little 5th pocket. It's a glorified box cutter. So it's fun. It's fun. And the name's fun. So check out my video on that if you haven't, because the Devo Nip, is it a nip or a nope, I think is how I titled the video. Another one of my Blade Show pickups, again, not a 2023 knife, but one that I acquired this year. And it was it wasn't exactly a Grail knife. It was, but it wasn't, because I still use the heck out of this thing. I love using this thing, and it wasn't like a super high-priced knife. Arcane Crawler, an M390. Oh man, is an aggressive, kind of futuristic-y look with the lines, and it's one hell of an awesome knife. Absolutely love this knife. Wanted one all through 2022, and finally picked one up at Blade Show this year, and I couldn't be happier having gotten one. It was actually I think it was the last one that they had on their table that day, and I had to have it. I had to have it. So that's that one. Now we're going to get to the honorable mention. It is one that I missed the first 2 times they dropped it this year. Due to different reasons each time. It kind of sucked, but I ended up finally on the 3rd drop. They dropped it mid-December. I was able to purchase it as a somewhat pre-order, with them shipping it out right around couple days ago. So it's in the mail to me. It is the Kunwu Padre in Vanex steel, and I'm excited I'm really, really stoked to get my hands on this. Excited is an understatement. I am so stoked to get my hands on this guy. It is just a stellar looking knife. Everything that anybody's said about it is just, cream of the crop. One that a must-have for the collection, and a beast of a user. Absolutely love the blade shape. It does have some CJRB frac vibes. You see how they've got some similar vibes. Definitely not copies of each other. Absolutely not. But they do have some similar vibes. And I, as much as I love the frac, I'm excited to get my hands on the Padre. And so hopefully I'll be going into the new year on sometime next week, early next week. It will arrive, and I'll crank out a video on him after I carry him for a handful of days, because the Padre and the Vanex steel, oh, I'm so stoked. I can't wait to get it. I can't wait to get it. Alright, so yeah, that is a 2023 release that I will have my hands on oh so super soon. I can't wait, can't wait, can't wait. The last, it's not a folder, it's not a fixed blade, it's an OTF. And if you don't know, I don't know where the hell you've been, but this is the knife that has been my pride and joy since, and I didn't even have one, but I got to see it and got to hold it over and over and over again at Blade Show in Atlanta this year. So almost midway into the year, I got to check it out, and I had to go by the booth, the EMP EDC booth, so many times to get my fingers on this, because I am just, so this thing makes me so freaking happy. It just really, really, really does. There is not an OTF out there that makes me happy like this one does. They just, John did a totally different design than any other OTF that's on the market, and I fell in love with it the second my eyeballs got locked onto it. And so much that I got 2 of these. I have a brand new one that has not been used to cut anything, not even a paper, that I am saving as I'll carry this one and use the hell out of this one for probably the next decade or so, 10 to 15 years, and then I'll put it aside in the safe in the collection box and pull out the new one and enjoy that one for about 10 to 15 years. Yes, the Pulse, and again, he's using MagnaCut, which is a fantastic steel choice. I love this thing full-heartedly. It is the most carried knife of this year for me since the day I got it. There's maybe 2 days that I left it out of my pocket, and I dearly missed it during both of those days. I don't know why I didn't just take it with me when I went on that weekend trip. I should have, because I just absolutely love this thing. It is my favorite. It is my pride and joy. Alright, so that is it for folders / the OTF. Now let's hit up the couple of fixed blades that I picked up this year. I've picked up first at the beginning, and towards the beginning of the year, this Condor. This is the Condor Chief. It's in 14C. 28N. This is my first knife from Condor, and I absolutely love the blade shape, and the handle ergos are unbelievably like butter in your hand. So freaking comfortable, ridiculously comfortable. This is to me, this is the perfect camp kitchen knife / do whatever you need to do in camp. Besides betoning massive logs. I would not use it for that. But everything else, this is a fantastic knife, fantastically well done, with beautiful grippy micarta, super solid sheath. Sorry. It is a nylon webbing system on the back that is reversible, so you can flip it around if you need to, carry on whichever side you want. But yeah, fantastic fixed blade. Have really enjoyed that one this year. Another one that's kind of a not so well known company, a couple of fellas that have done some work with Tops on a couple of Tops models, but then they was like, you know what, we're just going to do our own thing and not deal with, working with another company. We're capable of doing our own thing, our own shop. So this is the Houghton ERA Outdoors. This is their Kermit. It is a sweet little tiny fixed blade, beautiful little EDC fixed blade. I don't know why Javon Knives, he needs one of these. He loves your little tiny EDC fixed blades, and this one's in 14C. No, this one's in 154. Sorry, 154 cm blade steel. They're doing like to order sort of, and then small batches along with it. That's how they've been running their show for the last four to 6 months. It's doing small batches of this steel and these handle materials, and then doing orders for people that want like 2s and 3s. They did a super great job. They've since coming out with this right before Blade Show. They literally came out with this knife design right before, like a month before Blade Show, and only had so many to offer for sale at Blade Show. But they went thinner on the grind for the blade stock, and raised the grind up higher to the top, almost all the way to the top, to get a much thinner behind the edge blade, much slicier blade than the one that I have. They've improved the design in that regards. The handle is still, I love the micarta handle. It's an excellent, but this is the sheath to have with it for belt carry, horizontal carry. Because of its size, because of its ergos, and the setup of the sheath, this is a fantastic scout carry on the belt. Absolutely love the sheath, love the honeycomb texture on it. This is, I mean, I was so happy to pick up one of those at Blade Show. And finally, the #1 fixed blade of the year, for me at least, even though I only purchased 3 for the year, and there really wasn't much more out there being spat out that caught my eye, and nor did I desire to purchase, so that's why I only bought 3. But the Tops El Pionero, this is, like I said in my video on it, it is basically a tactical paring knife. Just a very aggressive looking tactical-esque style paring knife. And I just absolutely love it. It's a fantastic, you put the Ulti clip on it, and is an incredibly wonderful EDC fixed blade. Nice little EDC fixed blade that can do everything from, you know, cutting steak to opening packages to anything that you need, and it's very pokey, stabby as well. Fantastic fixed blade. Love the setup with the Kydex sheath. Alright, so those are all my scores for this year, minus the Kunwu Padre, which will again arrive within a handful of days, hopefully. Should. Alright, so as far as picking out your best budget scores of the knives that I acquired this year, my vote for the best budgets would be kind of a tie between these two Migarons, and again, you just gotta pick which one is more your taste, but both of these are just absolutely stellar. Absolutely stellar. You've got to decide whether or not you like the thumb stud or you like the thumb hole, and then you've got to decide which handle shape material and whether or not you want the forward choil or the heavier duty flipper tab for your ergos. I mean, that's just those are the biggest differences. Both of these are just absolutely stellar, budget friendly models coming up from Migaron. Migaron just did fantastic this year. They really did. They did a super good job. The other budget friendly knife of the year in the running is the Pyrite. I absolutely love the Pyrite. The CJRB just did a super stellar job on a very budget friendly button lock that everybody can get on board with. 2 different blade shape options, almost a dozen different handle options on that thing too by the end of the year here. Just fantastic, leaning in that budget friendly, towards that budget friendly category. They're around 65, 70 bucks, somewhere around there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So to me, that's for me, it leans in the budget category. As you can see, none of these were less than 40 bucks. I spent at least 40 bucks on every single one of these, with a couple of them being a whole hell of a lot more. And we'll go ahead and take that to go into the best high end. Obviously, for me, my Grail, the Spartan Harsey 4-incher. Boy, does this thing make me grin from ear to ear. And I absolutely love, totally tickled to own this knife. That one, and then the Mayhem, for me, the Mayhem, he was kind of on the pricier end, but what a beautiful knife, so well executed. Vosteed, congratulations. Yes, absolutely love that knife. One of the best of my higher ends. And then of course, as an OTF, being priced what he was priced, which shockingly he was able to get this thing under 300 bucks. Under 300 bucks. And hey, you gotta freaking love that for what you're getting. But yes, this guy is incredibly good. And then the last and final, I'm gonna say it even though I don't have one, but because of what everybody else is saying about it, the Kunwu Padre is probably going to be, at least for the first half of next year, one of my favorite knives. One of my top 2 or 3 favorite knives for the next 6 to 8 months. Until after I get some Blade Show scores next year. The Kunwu Padre is and will be for me one hell of a sweet higher end knife, and he was just at $299. So he was at the higher end too, that $300 price tag. But yeah, those would be my best high-end favorites scores of the year for me. The best fixed blade, obviously the El Pionero. Just, it's like everything about this knife I absolutely love. And I take him with me in my everyday bag, my little man purse that I have. He goes with me almost everywhere, almost all the time. So I've almost always got him with me. So it's a fantastic little EDC fixed blade. Truly, truly is. The most carried of my knives, besides the Pulse, I'm kind of leaning towards the Pyrites. I carried the Pyrites a lot, mainly towards the middle, from July onwards. When I think they came out in July, and onwards, I carried the Pyrite a lot. I used the Pyrite a whole hell of a lot. But I am overall, I generally use my knives in a solid rotation, so they all get used quite a bit. The only thing that really stood out as being something that I carried the most was the Pulse, because I literally, except for those 2 days, from the day that I got mine, I carried and carried and carried and used. I made sure that at some point in the day that I had it with me, I pulled it out and cut something with it. So, I mean, just because I enjoy it so much. I am so in love with the Pulse. It's terrible. But I know that John at EMPDC is totally tickled by the fact that I love it so much. Those are my knives of the year. If you've survived this far, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out my scores for 2023 and my thoughts and views on everything. And I will see you guys in the new year on the next one. Peace out.